Welcome into Between the Pylons. I'm John Camacho. Thank you so much for watching, and today we are talking about Joe Burrow. Before we get to that, just going to take 30 seconds to apologize for all of this behind me. I actually had to move. COVID-19 affected me and my girlfriend particularly hard, and we had to make some decisions that were that really forced other things to be on the wayside, which included this channel, which is why I've not been able to make videos for the past week and a half or so. So I'm getting back into the swing of things. I am in quarantine, so this will get cleaned up soon, but I have had just about enough moving and cleaning for one lifetime, so I figured I'd take a couple days just to focus on football. I do apologize for the mess again. I will get that cleaned up. I'm recording 3 videos today, and then the next time I record, I should have this looking a lot better at the very least. But all right, guys, let's get into Joe Burrow. To me, Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in this class, and I don't think I'm shocking the world by saying that at all. I will say he's the best quarterback I've ever watched and I've ever studied. Again, that's not saying incredibly much, to be perfectly fair. I haven't been doing this a super long time, so I don't have a ton of references to make. I will say I think the first year that I really started studying the draft in a very, very serious sense was the Baker Mayfield draft, where Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Darnold, and Lamar all came out. To me, Joe Burrow is better than any one of those guys coming out. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's having this meteoric rise right now, where, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be the playmaker that Lamar Jackson is, but they're two very different players as well, so, you know, whatever. As far as prospects, I do believe he's the best quarterback that I've ever seen. I do believe that he would be better than Tua if Tua was healthy. I don't think that Tua's injury would really change that a whole lot for me, but that's just me. That's my opinion, and I'm going to show you why I think that. Let's head on over to the skill chart that I have for you guys here today. All right, so here we are with the Joe Burrow skill chart here, and I do want to apologize right off the bat. There's a lot going on here. This is actually every single thing that my program takes into account when spitting out the final grade. So there's a little bit more than normal. I usually don't put everything on there, but I feel like with quarterback I probably should, and I've already done the Tua video, and I don't believe I did it with that video. But I decided to change it up a little bit here. So yeah, this is absolutely everything that I grade, right? And I'm gonna bring it down, kind of hide the Joe Burrow title there, but that's okay. So obviously toughness, accuracy, arm strength, leadership, those are the big keys for a quarterback, right? You want to see all that. I see all that. I think leadership is a given. You lead your team to a national championship. You do it with the kind of gravitas that he showed on a down by down basis. That's a huge grade for me. I understand that's a little bit of a subjective thing. That's me really liking the guy, and that just kind of goes into it. Sometimes there is bias when you do these grades, and if there's really bias in this grade, that's probably where you're going to find it. 8.5 out of 9. That's about as good a grade as you're going to get from me. Toughness, I don't think you can deny that. He displayed it every single down, it seemed like. Accuracy, he was incredibly accurate with the football. I said in the Tua video that Tua is one of the more accurate deep ball throwers that I've ever seen. Joe Burrow's not far behind him. He does not have the deep ball accuracy that Tua has. Tua is just unreal. But Joe Burrow really isn't that far behind. I think he can probably do more with his arm. I think he has a little bit stronger of an arm. I elevates talent. Obviously, that talent was the talent on LSU this year was incredible. There's no doubt about it. I still believe that he elevated a lot of those guys. He made everybody look better. And I think if you watched the season that LSU had, you couldn't argue with that, right? He made everybody better. Speed, That's not his game. He's not a speed guy. I'm going to show you when we get to the film of him running. He can make plays with his legs, but he's a lot like Patrick Mahomes in that sense that yes, he can move around, he can make plays, but that's not going to be his game. He's not a speedster. He is not going to wow you with his legs on a regular basis, if that makes any sense. Yes, he will get himself out of trouble. He will find room to make some plays, but he's not going to absolutely kill you with speed by any means. Moving on throughout the circle, feeling the pocket is one of my favorite things about him. He's just so good from the pocket, so good at naturally feeling the pressure and just adjusting to it. He does have the athleticism that I'm fine with from a quarterback perspective. That's not the most important thing that you look for. You don't really care, really, honestly. But I think it's still a plus grade. Incredibly mobile quarterback. Now, people don't equate the two, right? A mobile quarterback versus speed, it's not the same thing. Being able to run fast, and being a mobile quarterback, they're two different things. For me, his mobility is his ability to get out of trouble, his ability to evade pressure, his ability to make the play last longer, right? So Tom Brady, he doesn't have incredible mobility, and he's not fast, right? So you're not going to see Tom Brady, on bootlegs very often. You're not going to see him do a lot of that. Kirk Cousins, he has a little bit of mobility. He can move around the pocket. He can evade pressure. You see him do bootlegs and stuff like that all the time, but you wouldn't call him very fast. That's kind of the difference there, all right? So at least for me, in my definition of it, physicality kind of goes hand in hand with toughness. I think that's so important, especially from the quarterback position. Your job is to hang in there and make tough throws with 300-pound men seconds away from tearing your head off. So I need to see toughness. I need to see physicality, and I see that from him. 7 and up is an elite grade for me. So that's all good. That is an excellent grade. Here, it's kind of tough. Field vision, 8.8. His ability to see the field and see everything that's going on the field at the same time is incredible. That's one of the highest grades that I've ever given, 8.8, unless it's something that I have a chart for. Then I'm kind of forced to give a 9, which we'll get into that. But for him, for field vision, I'm going to show you guys, again, when we get to the film part of this, why it's so good, why I love it, part of it, it's the combination of the scheme that he played. He was able to play it to perfection because he had good field vision, because he could see the entire field at all times. He was good at making his progressions. He was good at all that. All the stuff that you say, oh, well, that if he doesn't have it, we can teach that. Well, he already has it, so you don't even have to. All he can do is get better with that, and it's so incredible. Production, that's one of those things that's on a chart for me, and he's off the charts for me. He had one of the greatest college seasons that you will ever see from a quarterback in college football. He did. He had one of the greatest seasons you will ever see. So production last year was amazing. That was really the only year I could grade him on. So that's a 9. That's amazing. Football IQ. This is one of those sections that I probably usually wouldn't put on here, because that's something that I have to personally go back and do research with, see what people are saying about the guy. And everything about Joe Burrow is positive. Everything about his football IQ, his ability to process information, it's elite. So I gave him an elite grade there as well. Durability, I have no issues with it. I wasn't going to just give him a 9 because he only played 1 year. But there's no issues. You're not worried about him getting hurt or anything. There's no injury risk there. And this right here, level of competition. So it's kind of messed up. It's a 9. I do a grade. This is a very, very small percentage of any grade, but I do this for every single player. I have a small percentage that says basically if you played in the SEC and played tough opponents, I think it means a little bit more than if you played in the Pac-12. I just do. So I put in a grade. It accounts for about 5% of the total grade. Actually, it's probably less than that. Overall, it's a very, very small percentage, but I do think it is a factor, so I do factor it in. It's a 9. He played at LSU in the SEC. He went through all the great teams in college football right now. Kind of went through the gauntlet. So you can't tell me that he didn't play top talent, because he absolutely did. Size, I have no issue with. Again, 7 years in the system. This is another one where I just have a chart for it that I build. So it's a 2 because he only played 1 year in the system. So it's a 2. Again, I have no issue with the release. It's a 7. It's really, really good. No problem at all with that. So now that you see the skill chart, let me show you the film, guys. Alright guys, so here we are with the Joe Burrow film. If you watch my videos at all, you know that I try and keep most of my draft profiles around 10 minutes. That changes when I start to do quarterbacks, so this is going to be a little bit longer of a film review here, so get ready guys. First thing I want y'all to focus on is really the first thing that blows me away when I look at Joe Burrow, and that's his field vision. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm gonna slow this down for you guys. Watch his ability to read the entire field and make an accurate throw. It's consistent. It's every single time. You see, that's a little bit of a fake handoff. Brings these tight ends up, and he has a chance to survey the whole field. And I will say, Joe Brady has a lot to do with that. Joe Brady was the I believe the wide receiver coach that was able to implement a new system. They really took after the Saints offense, and it just worked really, really well for Joe Burrow and his skill set. But part of that is his ability to see the entire field and look at all of his options and make the right read. So you're going to see that here again here. Again, yes, he has plenty of time in the pocket to make this read, and I understand that's just kind of a dump off pass to your running back. Well, he was able to see the field and make the right decision, so I have no problem with a dump out pass that nets 8-9 yards. Again, you see him make his progressions. I'm going to bring it back here just for a second. This was actually the play before. We'll play this through. So right here, you're going to see he is looking at the top of the screen. He's looking at his tight end. I believe that is Moss right there. Comes off of him because he sees the zone coverage here. Sees that his running back is running a Texas route and comes wide open and down the middle. Makes an easy, accurate throw to his running back for plenty of yards. Here again, we're going to see him make a read. Again, you see him start up at his first progression, make his progression across the field. Again, make an accurate throw with somebody in his face. You just absolutely have to love that about him. And he does that on a consistent basis. I showed you 3 clips, but I could easily have shown you 100. So here's pocket presence. This is the second thing that I think is so important when you talk about Joe Burrow, because he is so impressive just in the pocket. And granted, I will absolutely say, just as I said with Tua in his video, he had a really good offensive line. He does. He has an absolutely really good offensive line. He has really good receivers, so it does make it a little bit easier. But his ability to stand in the pocket, make his progressions, and find the open guy, that was awesome. That he just as easily could have been throwing on the run, but that was great as well. Again, feels pressure, is able to move up in the pocket, kind of ends up having to throw it away, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Again, here you see him make his progression, had a little bit of a pump fake there, feels the pressure, jumps, climbs up into the pocket and makes an accurate throw to his receiver. Again, and I'm going to get a little bit repetitive here just because I want you guys to see it against a bunch of different competition, see him climb the pocket. I love that. I mean, just easily climbs the pocket, gets the ball out quick to his receiver. That's what he's going to do. So I just wanted to show you some sacks, and this is when he takes some sacks. Not necessarily negatives, but I did pretty much, of the 5 games I watched, I clipped out all the sacks and I put them here. This play right here, we're going to call it a negative. I'm not really super upset about it, right? He didn't like what he saw downfield. Obviously, we don't have the view of what he was looking at, unfortunately. Then he tries to kind of make a move. This D tackle pretty much clogs a hole that I think he was originally going to take, and then he has to kind of go to the outside, and by that point the defensive end or linebacker or safety, whoever that is, ends up coming it down and sacking him. That's fine. Here I actually think is a 100% a positive play. Just for what he was able to create out of nothing. Good man coverage all the way around. Doesn't see anybody open. Pockets collapsing with only 3 people rushing. And he just kind of has to make a move to get out of a bad sack, right? And then it gets caught for either negative yardage or 1 yard. But right here, I'm fine with it, right? So right here, he gets out of a bad situation, climbs the pocket, kind of gets caught by his left guard just standing there, and I actually think he gets an extra yard out of that. So that's everything you can ask for. Passing under pressure here. So unfortunately, the title card was a little bit long there, so I'm just going to skip that one altogether. Here we are. Pressure in his face, right? Look at that. The ball's right here. He's getting absolutely clobbered. It was able to make a accurate touchdown pass, and you just absolutely have to love that. You're going to find a lot of guys that don't throw the ball very well when there's a guy in their face, and he does it too. I showed this right here where it's a little bit over, and I actually am just going to go back and talk about this because I only put in 3 clips. There's a lot more. I just only put in 3. Right here is probably one of my favorite examples. This guy is right here. You can kind of see he's got somebody in his face. It's not like the most beautiful pocket in the world, although it isn't terrible, but is able to make pretty much a perfect throw. You can't ask for anything better than that. His receiver comes down with it. Again, we're going to show this one more time. He gets absolutely clobbered, but is able to make the touchdown pass. And right here, again, I'm not just loving on him. He has to throw it here, obviously under pressure, throws it a little bit earlier than he wants to, and just airs it out just a bit. I think, maybe you could call that a timing issue with the receiver. I wouldn't. I would call that just an overthrown ball. Not an issue at all, by the way. But I felt obliged to show the good and the bad there. And if you call that bad, that's not really bad at all. So this is him on the run, just his running ability. I wanted to show, he's not Lamar Miller. He's not an athletic dual threat quarterback, in my opinion. And this right here, I just love this. This just shows how much of a gamer he is. The ball gets batted down. He catches it. I'll show it one more time. The ball gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. He catches it and has the wherewithal to immediately start running for a first down. That is just insane. That's just playmaking ability. You gotta love that. Here is able to evade the pressure and turn it into positive yards. Turns it into a first down. Didn't like that's half slide, but whatever. Again, he's gonna be able to do this in the next level. He's gonna make a living throwing in the pocket, but when he has to, he can come back and have some positive yards. So passing on the run, this is again one of the things that I absolutely love about Joe Burrow and what he's able to do. This right here is just an amazing highlight play. You could call it passing on the run, you can call that throwing under pressure, call it whatever you want. This is just making a play. Throws the ball up, and I'll be honest, you see that and that probably scares you if you're a coach. It doesn't to me. That's the kind of thing that Patrick Mahomes was doing in college. I want to see a guy who has the physical ability to get away with it. No, I don't want to see him trying that every single time, especially the next level, especially when these corners are a little bit faster and the safeties are right there, and that could easily have been picked off. I understand that. I don't care. I want to see a guy that has the physical ability to make that kind of play happen. Again, right here, you see he's able to square up his shoulders even on the run and deliver an accurate pass. The receiver drops it, of course. It's just consistent. He's so good with the ball. He's so much arm talent, can throw it from pretty much any angle. And right there, that is a bullet, right? And we can talk about it all day, but it's just so impressive when you can watch a guy and he does so much amazing things that one thing just kind of gets overlooked, and I don't want to do that with him, right? Throwing on the run, no, there's nobody in his face. He probably could have stopped and set his feet to throw. He didn't need to, and throws it exactly where he has to the right side of the receiver to turn back and make a catch for a touchdown. That is just, I mean, that's textbook. That's beautiful. I mean, I just can't get over how good this guy is. I really can't. Again, evades pressure, waits the last second, lets it rip. Look at this again. I mean, it's just, I should have just called this playmaking. It's just absolutely amazing. His ability to make plays is it's just impressive. It's so impressive. Again, one more. I know I put a lot of these in here. I love it. I really do. I just absolutely love it. I think he's just such an impressive quarterback with what he can do on the move, the way he can make plays. I mean, this is Patrick Mahomes kind of stuff. This really is. I know Jordan loves the one that getting compared to Patrick Mahomes, but this is the guy that I think has the ability to be the top 5 quarterback, top 3 quarterback in the league. He really has that kind of potential. He's that kind of talent. He is able to make plays. He's able to, I mean, he elevates every single part of this team, in my opinion. Look at this. Evades the tackle of a Alabama defensive end, and yeah, he overthrows that one. That's whatever. I don't care. Did not realize how many of these I put in there, so I do apologize. Put that in. All right, so just arm talent all around, right? So this is just so what I'm gonna do. You're gonna see arm talent, and then I'm gonna show you the deep, the intermediate, and the short passing game. So these are just the plays that I saw. I'm like, damn, that's never going to get recognized, but that's such a good play. That's such a good throw. Right here, that is a bullet. That is an absolute bullet between 2 defenders. I mean, watch this again. And he doesn't get set up. He just slings this. Just ching. I mean, that's it doesn't get caught, but the ball gets there. That's a Tom Brady throw. It really is. You see Tom Brady do that all the time where he's just in the back of the pocket. He's just sitting there and he just slings it. It doesn't look like he's throwing it hard, but he is. And that play right here, that was just a touch pass. Again, I wanted to show kind of all of his abilities, right? So that's kind of, that's the bullet. I know he has the fastball. And this right here is just a lob, 25, 30-yard lob down the field on a rope. That's pretty. This right here, I believe, is going to be the back foot throw. No, so he's just waiting, gets it there, and that's just that's just accuracy. Granted, he had all day to throw, but that's not his fault. That's Georgia's fault. They decided to go into this game and say, hey, we're only going to rush 3 the entire time. Let's see if Joe Burrow can beat us, and they did. This is the off the back foot throw here. So you see that again, incredibly accurate throw, and it's just off his back foot, just lobs it in there, just beautiful. Again, that's kind of another bullet right there, just slings it again off his back foot. Doesn't look like he's putting anything into it, and he's getting it between 2, SEC defenders. That's supposed to be really good. And this right here, I think I talked about it at the top of the show. His deep ball is so good. It's so beautiful. There's not a lot of separation there, but he gets it right on the money. Again, you see this, a little bit of separation, but, I mean, just beautiful. Puts it right where the receiver can get it. I mean, you got to love this. Tua gets all the credit for his deep ball, right? Joe Burrow deserves a little bit more for his, because this is, I mean, that's right where it has to be, right? That's the only place he can put it for his receiver to get it and nobody else. And granted, it does get dropped. Don't care. It's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Again, guys, I want to apologize. Just take a second. I'm sorry. If you guys are not a Joe Burrow lover, I'm sorry that I'm probably being one-sided on this. I always try not to be. But, man, every aspect of his game I absolutely love. And the deep ball is just so beautiful. And it's almost a highlight reel at this point. Again, just lobs it up there. And that can be called, I mean, just lobs it up there between 2 defenders there. Only where his receivers can get it. Here, intermediate, I just want to show, again, nothing incredible. You want to see your quarterback do this, but he's consistent, he's accurate. I think I only saw 2 inaccurate throws throughout the 5 games that I watched with him. So, yeah, I have nothing but positive things to say about him. Again, he's able to scan the field, make an accurate throw, right? And that's just textbook. It's beautiful. He's going to be able to do this every single time. Just put him back there, Give him a good concept. Give him weapons. Please, Bengals, don't ruin this, or give him to a team that won't ruin this. Like, I don't know. Just please don't ruin this talent, because I truly believe this is a guy who can be a top 5, top 3 quarterback in this league and win championships. And this right here, I said there were 2. This was one of them. Or I guess there were 3 total, because there's one more showing up. Overthrows it a little bit, and this is short ball. Part of what I did want to show here is the fact that I understand that his stats are a little bit exaggerated, right? They're inflated just a little bit because he did have a lot of these throws. You're not going to get the unbelievable stat line that he got without having a little bit of gimme plays. And, every good quarterback gets them. Again, that's another miss. Granted, this field was absolutely nasty. This was not his best game, but I mean, he really didn't even play that bad. He threw one interception that he probably shouldn't have thrown, which I'm actually going to show you guys later. And he had a nasty field, so he wasn't able to move around as much as he wanted, and one or two bad throws. So here's the interception for you guys. Just a bad throw, but the thing is, I showed you guys multiple times him making throws like this and making them work. So yeah, he's a little bit of a gunslinger. He's gonna do these kind of things in the NFL. I expect in his first couple of years he's gonna throw dumb interceptions from now and again. I have no problem with that, because if he throws that ball 5 times, I think he's gonna complete it 4 times. So yes, a little bit underthrown, poorly thrown ball. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Bad decision by Burrow, but that's just not an issue. And this right here was his other interception. I only saw 2 for what I watched, and that was just a batted ball at the line. Not a big deal at all. But all right, guys, that is the film portion of this video. I hope that going through all of those clips, you see a complete player. I mean, you see a guy who is absolutely at the top of his game at every single level, right? I showed you the deep, intermediate, and short passes, and I understand part of showing the short passes is explaining, hey, he did have a lot of easy throws. He was in a really, really good system, and that should be taken into account to a point. But I also showed you a lot of plays where he made something out of nothing. He was able to make a play. I mean, this is a guy who is an absolute playmaker, and I think you just have to love it. I mean, he's so good. I'm super excited for him. I hope, beyond hope, as a Dolphins fan, that something could happen, some dumb thing could happen, that the Dolphins could go up and get this player, because I truly believe he's a generational talent. I really believe that. That shouldn't happen. That's not going to happen. Bengals fans, appreciate this man. Appreciate this man, because he's going to go in there and be a star for the next 10 to 15 years. That's what the Bengals have on their hands right now, and I couldn't be more excited for what he can do in the future. Like I said, I have no flaws with his game. Yes, he's a gunslinger. Yes, he's going to have to rein it in at times, because as you saw, there's certain, wow plays that you probably don't want him doing on a regular basis in the NFL. But that's the same thing people were saying about Patrick Mahomes when he came out. It's the same kind of thing they were saying about Deshaun Watson when he came out. Now they're in the NFL and they're making those wild plays on a regular basis. I 100% believe Joe Burrow will be doing the exact same thing on Sundays. My final Wawa score for Joe Burrow is 7.51, but as I've said before, quarterbacks I feel like deserve to be on their own scale. Trying to plug a quarterback into my formula, it's difficult just because of how much goes into the position and how difficult it is to nail every skill that a quarterback needs into one number. But with that being said, it still kind of works. That's still probably going to be my highest grade for a quarterback of any grade. But overall, I think the film review and what the player's attributes are probably more important than the final score in this particular case. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe this video for more content, more draft profiles. I have a lot of extra time on my hands, so I'm going to see if we're going to end up doing some other cool stuff that puts more content on this channel. Please check out the podcast that I do every week, Between the Pylons podcast, and hit me back up with more videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace.